Welcome back, everybody, to the BETIT Sports Podcast, only for the true sports fan. Once again, I am JCOLE. I am joined by my buddy and co-host SLUSH, and we've got a new series for you guys today. We're going to call it Buy or Sell. We always tell you guys, we're always dropping bangers. We're trying to come up with new ideas for you guys every day so we can drop bangers 5 days a week. SLUSH, we wanted to come up with something that was going to pair us, our fans, and the media. And we think we did just that with Buy or Sell. It's an interactive sports take style of media. And I think this is going to change the game for us, Slush. I'm going to let you break it down just a little more.
Definitely, yeah. So we got the buy or sell, new edition. So it's kind of like the stock market. So, everybody likes their takes, social media takes. So you're either going to buy it. That means you think that its value is going to go up. It's a strong take.
Yep.
Or you're going to sell it. You think that the value is going to drop. It's not a strong take. So we're going to be here. Bet it. We analyze the best takes, best sports events, best ball knowledge around. So we're going to be here. We're going to take your guys' takes and we're going to analyze it, break it down, give you our sides of the analysis.
100%, brother. We're going to do little 2-minute segments on each one of your guys' take. We have 5 to start off our buy or sell journey. And this is just a quick representation of what we're going to be doing. You guys are going to tweet at us at hashtag buy or sell. We're going to go through all those comments and tweets. We're going to analyze them and we're going to buy or sell them ourselves live on the BETIT podcast. This is a prime example right here. Obviously, everybody in the comments and both of us are buying this heavily. BETIT is the best sports channel on earth. You saw it here first from YouTube with 10.2 million views. That's simple. We're going to buy that. No analysis needed. You guys all know that. We know that. Slush, let's get right into it. I'm excited for this.
Let's do it.
First up on the list, coming at us from Vamos Media. Slush, a hot one right off the bat. Vamos says Aaron Rodgers will lead the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Steel Curtain, to the 2025 playoffs at 42 years old. Slush, give me some analysis. Are you buying or selling Aaron Rodgers taking the Steelers to the playoffs at 42?
Yeah. Without a doubt. We're buying it. We're buying it for sure. Aaron Rodgers, he was in Green Bay his whole career. He, very professional team over there in Green Bay. He went to New York. First-time head coach with Saleh over there.
Yep.
He ended up getting hurt, which, just messed the whole experience up over there. And they were never able to, get in a groove, get chemistry. So then, Mike Tomlin, he had his little run with Russell Wilson. Now he gets a Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. He gets a new receiver professional in DK Metcalf. So,
yep.
Pittsburgh always has a strong defense. So they're always right there trying to get over the hump. And, Aaron Rodgers at 42 years old, I think that's exactly what they need, a quarterback with experience and, a lot of longevity, and he'll be able to lead them to the playoffs. So I'm buying this for sure.
Slush, I'm buying right off the bat too. I think Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to do a whole lot in this Pittsburgh Steelers locker room as well as on the field. I think you saw a lot of turmoil with the Jets. There was so much turnover going into that series. Where he was kind of trying to take over New York. And that's just not possible sometimes when you're going into your late 30s and early 40s. Maybe if it was 25-year-old Aaron Rodgers, we would see something different in New York with the Jets. But he needed a team that was set up and ready for him to come there. And I think that's what this is in Pittsburgh. I've been hearing a lot of rumblings that he's had some really good rapport with a couple of their receivers, Roman Wilson, DK Metcalf, like you mentioned before. And like I said, for them to make the playoffs, I think it can be really reminiscent of that Broncos team where Peyton Manning didn't have to do a whole lot and they made the Super Bowl off the strength of that really strong defense. I think this is similar, Slush. I think Cam Hayward and TJ Watt are going to be refreshed, getting new contracts. I think that defense is really strong. I think they've got a decent run game. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has to do a crazy amount here to lead them to the playoffs. I think 9 or 10 wins does it, Slush, and I think they get that done in Pittsburgh and maybe win a round or two. I'm kind of high on this team. I'm an Aaron Rodgers hater, but I like the fit, and I'm buying here, Slush, 100%.
Yeah, I like that. Just to add on to that, I like how you said that, just the Jets. I mean, it kind of felt like it was like a daycare. Like he was taking care of the young guys. That's not the situation that Rodgers should have been put in at this point of his career. He should be put in a Pittsburgh situation where it's a team that's already established. They have a winning culture, and New York just kind of felt like a project. And at this point in his career, it was just a bad fit from the start. So I think he's stepping into a great situation, and they could make something special happen this year.
Couldn't agree more, Slush. It's more plug and play in Pittsburgh, and the boys at BETIT are buying Slush. Let's move right on to our second take coming at us hot from Tennessee, from at the Vols guy. This is one of the hotter takes that I've seen on our board. I know we're only picking 5 today, but we had a bunch to choose from. He says, hot take, Anthony Edwards will be higher ranked all time than Kobe Bean Bryant when all is said and done. Slush, break this down for me right off the bat. I know this is a little bit out there, but I want to see what you got on this one. Buy or sell that, Slush.
Oof. Yeah, I'm going to give you guys the analysis first here before I give you my buy or sell. I think that, so Anthony Edwards, he's had better numbers for, the first part of his career versus Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
He every year he's getting better. He's taking his team deeper in the playoffs. He's showing that he could be a leader. But, Kobe, he was third-team All-League, third-team All-NBA by his third year in his career. And, Kobe has 5 rings, so it's a lot to chase. And, what I want to see from Anthony Edwards is, I don't want to see him in the media as much. I want to see him, more focused on his craft, more focused on his team, and, just making the other players around him better for so they can win. Because if he wants to, be higher ranked than Kobe, he has to start winning some rings. But he's still young, and Kobe's a different breed. So I'm gonna sell this.
Most definitely, Slush. I think Ant has a long way to go here, and there's a lot of off-the-court concerns as well as some injury concerns on the court. I think there's a lot of longevity that has to be had before he's even in the consideration to be in that top 10 range. And I don't have Kobe as highly ranked as a lot of people do. A lot of people have him top 3, top 5. I have him right around that 10 range. I would say right in that 8 to 12 range is where I like Kobe for my all-time rankings. But for me, it's going to be hard-pressed to get those rings. And for me, championships are really, really valuable to your all-time case. Will Minnesota win 5 rings? I'm going to go out on a limb, Slush, and say absolutely not. So unless he goes to a different situation, I could see him even going to LA or New York, a big market like that, when it does come time for him to hit free agency. But in Minnesota, in the current climate, I'm selling this majorly, Slush, because I think that individually, the accolades could be there. I think he could make 10 or 15 All-Star games. I think he could win an MVP or 2. But will he win a couple finals MVPs as well as 5 rings? I don't think so. For that reason, accompanied with the injury concern and the off-the-court issues, potentially, I'm selling.
Yeah, shout out to the Vols guy, because this was a really good take.
Yeah.
If you're gonna compare somebody to be higher ranked than Kobe, I think Anthony Edwards would be a great choice, because I don't think we've seen somebody have confidence like this young guy in a while. Since he came into the league, he's been confident. He knows he's the man out there, and ultimately that's what it takes. If you don't have the confidence, then you're not gonna be successful and be one of the greats. So I think that the projection, he could be there, but realistically, do I see it happening? I don't. So I'm gonna sell.
100%, brother, and that's nothing against the Vols guy. Thank you so much for submitting that. We want hot takes like that. This made us go back and forth. So Vols guy, shout out to you, brother. Moving on to our first baseball buy or sell, Slush. Coming from at BaseballNerd919, he says, the next baseball super team will be the Pittsburgh Pirates. Buy or sell, Slush. I'm going to take the lead on this one because I feel super passionately about this one. I'm going to go with a major sell. I think, for me, the organization has set itself up well with their drafts. I think they've drafted really well as of late. Obviously, Paul Skeens was a slam dunk pick. They've also picked Bubba Chandler, who was supposed to be a quarterback at Clemson. They signed him for a little bit over slot value, and now he's the number 2 prospect in baseball. They also have Jared Jones there, who's been hurt. This is a really good pitching staff, and I think that alone could be the catalyst of a really good team. But they continue to really, really struggle developing hitters. They had a couple number 1 picks that didn't do anything. Henry Davis has failed to do anything at the major league level. Nick Gonzalez, coming out of New Mexico State, hasn't done anything either. He was a first-round pick as well. Until they sign some hitters or develop some hitters, Slush, I don't think they can compete with the powerhouses, these guys that have crazy payrolls, the Mets, Yankees, Dodgers, teams like that. I don't think they can contend. I think the pitching is going to be great in the next 5 years if they can retain Skeens. Slush, I'm going to sell majorly here. Where are you going with it?
Yeah, I like that analysis. I like that analysis. I think Pittsburgh, they're trying to figure it out. They have
Yep.
a lot of talent over there. You know, no doubt they have a lot of talent. But you know, they recently, I think this year they moved Neil Cruz to center field. You know, they're trying to make it work because they know that their record doesn't show for the talent that they have. But what I want to see from Pittsburgh is I want them to bring in some veterans that
Yep.
just are ball players, grinders. They don't have to be big, expensive names, but just people that have a lot of experience. They know the game. They're professionals. They could really bring that young culture to a more professional baseball team.
Yep.
And yeah, they do have a great pitching staff, and that's pretty much the foundation of these super teams. So, but with that being said, I'm gonna sell because I just don't see the Pittsburgh Pirates being a super team. I mean, that just doesn't even sound right. So I'm selling that.
I agree. How can you be a super team when you've got a guy like Paul Skeens rolling out a 1.8 ERA and he hasn't won a game in 2 months? Slush. To your point,
Yeah.
I think a guy like Tyro Estrada or a really veteran hitter in kind of the bottom half of that lineup could be super beneficial to the Pirates, but they continue to move in the wrong direction. I'm selling Slush. Baseball nerd, I appreciate your comment here, but that's a
Yeah.
major sell for me. That's the biggest sell of the video.
Amazing stadium, though. I mean,
For sure.
Pittsburgh, it's an amazing stadium.
PNC Park is sweet.
Yeah, they're gonna have fans coming to see them play regardless. But yeah, super team. I don't know about that, buddy.
I agree, Slush. Let's move on to our next one. This one really, really, really enticed me, Slush. I gave you the lead on the first two. I got to take the lead on this one. At Budge MMA, one of our friends of the channel, says athletes should be allowed to juice. Ratings would be through the roof. This is really interesting because on surface level, I'm buying the hell out of that take. I would love to see a juiced league. But I'm going to add some nuance to my buy, Slush. I'm going to buy a couple shares and I'm going to sell a couple shares. The
Hey, a
shares
little
that I'm
hedge.
buying, yeah, I'm going to hedge a little bit. The shares that I'm
Yeah.
buying, baseball, basketball, stuff like that, I would love it. Baseball, especially. I want to see a dude hit a ball 600 feet out of the
Yeah.
stadium. I would love that. I could care less whether that's happening. But Budge MMA, it's in your name. Mixed martial arts. Any combat sport, we cannot have juice allowed in the combat sports because somebody will genuinely get killed. So I'm going to sell that, although it would be entertaining. Some of those guys are on juice, I know for a fact. It would be super entertaining, but you can't have it. I think football's even a stretch for the PEDs when you get monsters like that. Imagine you had a juiced up J.J. Watt or a James Harrison coming down the hole and hitting a juiced up Marshawn Lynch. Actually, that sounds pretty good. I might buy some of that.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I might buy some of that, Slush. I'm going to buy and sell. I'm going to hedge right in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy some shares on one side. Some sports should have it. I think they should be allowed to do it. Other sports where there's a lot of contact involved and there's potential danger to the head and neck area, I'm going to sell there. Slush, where are you going with this one?
How are you, diversifying the portfolio? Is it going to be 50-50 buy sell, or
I'm
what
gonna
are we
say
doing?
I'm gonna say 70-30. I'm gonna buy 70. I'm gonna sell 30. I think that little 30 is MMA, football, contact sports like that. But otherwise, let them have it, dude. I want to see Bonds hit the ball 700 feet. I want to see Mike
Yeah.
Trout juice to the gills. I don't care. Let's do it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Well, definitely, I think WNBA they should be able to juice because just to bring some fire into that league.
Yeah.
So I'm buying on that, but
Juice and let them have 9-foot hoops.
yeah, yeah, with anything to make it a little more interesting. But yeah, on a more serious note, should athletes be allowed to juice? I think for an entertainment aspect, this is what sports is kind of moving into.
Yeah.
Like all these advertisement companies, all they care about is the TV deals and how much money they can make. So I mean, definitely, if they want to make as much money as they want, and they should be able to juice. I mean, it'll be very entertaining. But I think it does take the true, just the true talent away from the game.
Yeah.
And like it really robs these people of the hard work. But it would be very fun. It'd be like an arcade mode in real life.
Yeah.
So as a fan, I would love to see it. I would love to see it, but as a former player, I wouldn't, just because these people are professionals. They work hard at their craft. So I'm gonna sell it.
Okay, so we got a buy from JCOLE. We got a sell from Slush. That's our first split of buy or sell, and that's what this is all about. One thing I will add, Slush, for my buy, everybody has to be on it or none of them has to be on it. It has to be one or the other. It can't be
fully transparent.
Yep,
Fully transparent.
fully on or fully off. It can't be like some of us are on, some of us are off. But I'm buying it. Slush. I'm going for the entertainment value. For the purist, I totally get it, but
yeah, how about juicing for the playoffs? Like if you make it to the playoffs, you get the juice.
I think you should be able to add one steroided player per team for the playoffs.
Okay. I like that.
And you could only use him one. You can only use him one at bat or one series for football or something like that, like an X factor.
Yeah, bring him out the dugout. You know, that one roided player.
Yeah, if I'm the Yankees, just bring up Francis Ngannou looking dude. Bring him up there, let him hit.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Maybe we might have to make some calls. You know, work our magic, see what we can do to integrate this into sports.
I agree, Slush. We've got our first split for buy or sell. Moving into our last take of the night. Slush, was that our last take of the night? No. That's what I thought. I was gonna say I knew I put 5 in here. Our producer and our production value is going down as we speak. But Slush,
we're selling him.
Our last buy or sell of the day comes from @CoachCC, another friend of the channel. He says, Brock Purdy is definitely a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. Don't at me. Slush, I'm going to let you right into this because I know you're passionate about the subject. You're a big Niners fan.
Yeah.
Buy or sell Brock Purdy being a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? Where are you going with this one?
Yeah, I love his how passionate he is with I'm definitely going to sell this.
Yeah.
You know, as a Niner fan, I've seen this guy play every game. Is he a good quarterback? Yeah, he is. He's a really good quarterback. I don't think anybody at that young of an age, like, it doesn't matter system QB or any of that. I don't think anybody that's not good could take their team to the Super Bowl and almost go head to head with Mahomes. But top 5, like, come on, dude. We got Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes,
Lamar.
Yep. And 10 other people that could be the 5. But
yep.
I don't want to take it away. I don't want to take it away from this guy. He is a really good player. He is definitely overachieving from what was expected from a last pick.
Yep.
And I do like the guy. I think he gets a lot of attention, a lot of he gets the long end of the stick. People are always sticking up for him. He's a good player, but top 5, definitely not. I'm going to sell.
Major sell from Slush here. No BS. This tweet comes from my dad, Coach Cole. He's a Brock Purdy truther, Slush. I'm on the same side of the fence here. I'm a Saints fan, but I like the Niners. I like to give them credit where credit is due. I've never been a Brock Purdy guy. I think the downfield throws, there's a lot of misses. I think he's very, very composed. I like his, his composure in the pocket. I think he does get sped up sometimes, but he's mobile. His short to intermediate throws, I think he's very good at that.
Mm-hmm.
But Slush, I mean, just thinking off the top of my head, like you said, Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Burrow. I'm picking Herbert over Purdy. I'm picking a guy like Jalen Hurts just based off of success. Stroud, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so many guys I can list off the top of my head. Jared Goff, I'd rather take 2. That's 9 right there. So it's really more of a debate of, is Purdy in the top 10 to 15 range? I think he's not even close to the top 5. I think had he won a Super Bowl over Mahomes, now we can have the conversation of, is this guy top 8, maybe entering top 5? But even then, it's hard for me to put him anywhere near the top 8. I think he's right around that 10 to 12 range. I think he's a very, very solid quarterback. He's an above average quarterback. And for what he's done as the last pick of the draft is incredible. And I think that's why he gets so much credit, like you said. But Slush, we're on the same page here. Brock Purdy for me is a very overachieving quarterback, but nowhere near the top 5. I'm selling this one heavily.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I agree. I think that, more recently people are throwing around this top 5 stuff like it's just anybody can have it. I mean, it takes a lot of hard work and, you got to prove it year in and year out that, the top 5, that's a real thing.
Yeah,
so,
the NFL is stacked with quarterbacks as well. Just named 8 off the top of our head.
Yeah, just easy, just like that. So I think people overlook I think people overlook it because it is a perfect fit. I'm not going to deny that.
Yep.
Shanahan wants somebody that could read a defense fast, make quick decisions, get the ball to the playmakers. So it is a wonderful fit. He does benefit from a coach like Shanahan.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, oh, he would be different. He wouldn't be as good with a different coach, because that's not fair. But yeah, there's definitely 5 quarterbacks I would take over him to win a Super Bowl for the 49ers. So yeah.
100%. He reminds me a lot of a guy like another guy I'm not super high on in Bo Nix. I think they're the same type of guy where they're going to grind you out a lot of wins and get you a lot of success. Are they a Super Bowl quarterback? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. To my knowledge right now, not really. I think if you surround them in the right situation, they're going to look really, really good. They're not going to make a lot of mistakes. They're not going to turn the ball over a crazy amount. Well, you saw when the playmakers were healthy, when CMC, Kittle, Debo Samuel, and Ayuk were all on the field. I mean, look, those are 4 all-pros. He wasn't making a lot of mistakes. He looked incredible. But when those guys went out, when Trent went out, when CMC was off the field, Ayuk went down with a season-ending injury, we saw a lot of the true Brock Purdy where it was like he got sped up a little bit. He was trying to make those downfield throws that he couldn't fit into those tight windows, and it looked ugly at times. I remember watching him against the Seahawks on the road, and I was like, this does not look like a top 10, top 15 guy. This looks like a bottom half of the league guy. This team, to me, is like, sometimes I think a guy like Sam Darnold could take him to the Super Bowl. That's how talented the Niners are. You know what I mean? Like,
I love that take.
Yeah, I just think Brock Purdy is an overachiever in every sense of the word, but top 5, definite sell. That's where I'm at.
There's been many times, we got money on the Niners, and we're sweating out of bed, and we're over there blowing each other up. What the hell is Purdy doing? Like, come on, dude! Like, put Darnold in. Darnold would win this game. Like,
yep.
Come on, yeah, that's exactly how it is. So, but yeah, I think that wraps it up. Does it wrap it up?
That wraps it up, Slush. That's our first episode of Buy or Sell. You can even drop in the comments, guys. We'll highlight your comments. We'll pin your comments. Drop us a hashtag buy or sell with your hottest sports take, and we will get it in a video, whether it's a tweet, a comment, an Instagram post, Instagram comment, whatever you guys want to do. Get it to us. Hashtag buy or sell. We will be on it, Slush. It has been another good episode. We're going to try and do 2 or 3 buy or sells per week. We're going to do 1 documentary style video per week. Next one we're going to come at you with is pro sports versus gambling. We're going to have another one this week talking about some different issues. Slush, it's been a good one. It's been buy or sell.
Let's do it.
I'm buying bet it all day long.
I'm buying. We're buying. We're buying bet it. Come on, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We're coming back with more bangers. That's all we do. Let us know any comments, concerns, any suggestions in the comments, as always. And just tell your homies about the videos. We want to be there spreading knowledge to you guys and chopping it up. So, and then if you want to be included in the buy or sell, just hashtag buy or sell on Twitter or X, and we're gonna include you in our video.
Hashtag buy or sell, boys. We'll be back next week, maybe even end of the week this weekend. Bet it. We're out.
Deuces.